General from ISA. Thank you, Chris Van Nijen from DEME, from GSR for this introduction to the workshop. My name is Anne van der Reusel from Ghent University. We are hosting this workshop. We are very honored and with pleasure, of course, we are happy to welcome you here in Ghent. And I hope that besides, next to this important meeting, we also have the opportunity to visit Ghent, which is really a nice historical city. And there should be a lot of atmosphere these days because of the Christmas market in the center and things like that. So I hope you have the opportunity to enjoy that as well. I have to apologize for my voice. I had Friday I couldn't produce any sound, but today at least I can produce some sound. I will not bother you too long with this, but I would like to give some introduction to the local facilities. I actually would like to take the opportunity to promote a little bit our university and to introduce you to the work we are doing here. I don't have to show where we are. Of course, Belgium is a little bit in the center of Europe, and Ghent is to the west of Brussels, still 60 kilometers away from the coast, but we are having a lot of marine science at Ghent University, despite its off-coast position. I already referred to the city center, the historical city center. I really hope you get the opportunity to visit it. It's quite unique in Belgium. Bruges is a very well-known historical medieval city, but we believe here in Ghent that actually Ghent is much more beautiful. So take that opportunity to walk around a little bit. Also by night, as you can see. Okay, a little bit of history. We are almost 200 years old. It's an old university, and we started in 1817, where the university was still Latin spoken. You know, in Belgium we have a little bit a problem. It's maybe a big word. There was a problem in the past with languages, and we have this French-Dutch conflict, not anymore, but there were some issues in the past, not too much anymore today. Let's put it in that way. Our university was French spoken from 1830. It's only from 1930 that we are a Dutch spoken university. Okay, we have since recently the first female vice chancellor, Anne de Papa. I had to apologize here. She would have liked to be here to welcome you, but I unfortunately had to apologize her. We have 11 faculties. They're distributed over town. So when you walked from your hotel, you may have come across buildings from the university. All the different faculties are spread over town. Our faculty, where we will invite you on Wednesday. Wednesday is the practical part of this workshop. We welcome you in our facilities a little bit outside the center of Ghent, but we will point you how to get there later on. Here is the building actually where we are staying at the Sterre campus. Okay, Ghent is quite a big university for Belgian standards. We are a small country. Still we have a university with about 40,000 students, 1,400 professors for 40,000 students. I always find that a low number. We are not going to complain. And of course we have also a quite high number of international students, about 4,000 international students. Because despite the fact that most of the courses are taught in Dutch, we also have many English spoken programs. Actually 40 master programs in total are taught in English. We have, of course, also an important research component at our universities. We have in total 5 different doctoral schools. We have a high number of PhDs defended each year, and so research, of course, is an important basis for our education. We have a lot of international students. I already referred to that. Within Europe, many students come from Spain, Italy, Germany, Poland, France. That's the top 5 of exchange students. The top 5 of international PhD students is in the first place China, followed by the Netherlands, India, Iran and Vietnam are our top 5 countries where PhD students originate from. Okay, as I said, despite the fact we are 60 kilometers away from the coast, we are an important marine university in the sense that 40% of the marine research in Belgium is actually taking place at Ghent University. Not only in biology, also geology, law, bioengineering, veterinary medicines, medicines and health sciences all have different aspects of their research related to the marine environment. We are also, since recently, coordinator of the Belgian node of EMBSG. Let me introduce briefly EMBSG. I want to take the opportunity having this international audience with me. EMBSG stands for European Marine Biological Resource Center. It's this distributed European infrastructure of research. So together with many different European countries, we are establishing this network of marine research institutes which will provide services on marine biological resource research. Yeah. So it's a distributed research infrastructure which will provide services for both fundamental and applied research in relation to blue biotechnology. That is what we are putting in place now. We're still in an implementation phase, but we hope to be operational from next year on. So the Belgian node, we are taking care of collections and databases. We have providing culture and testing facilities and different research platforms. An important component where we are standing for is the training and mobility. And the first thing we did in the framework of this EMBSG is establishing actually a portal which gives an overview of all marine-related training in Europe in the first place. The idea is to expand it. It's in the first place a European initiative, but if people are interested in studying marine sciences in Europe, you find all this information through this portal. Okay. I'm a head of a research group on marine biology. I'm not I am supported by 2 other professors, Professor Tom Moens, who some of you may know, and Professor Marleen de Trog. They're also both experts in Meiofauna, but from shallow water ecosystems. Magda Vinks, who was the former head of our research group, recently retired. Just to give an idea, we have many different people doing research on Meiofauna from deep sea to, I should say, from shallow waters to deep sea, but as you can see, I'm quite deep sea orientated, from the deep sea to shallow waters. Our research focus is not only on biodiversity, it's mainly on relationships between biodiversity and ecosystem functions of the sea, but with a focus on the sea floor, on the fauna associated with sediments or hard substrates. So we try to investigate the Meiofauna in relation to other components of the sea fauna, the sea biota, by looking at the interaction between biodiversity and function, but often in context of management or policy context, such as we are doing research in, for instance, on the impact of implementation of windmill farms, climate change, fisheries, acidifications, and so also deep sea mining. Okay, just to, because this is a Meiofauna conference workshop, I should say we are very happy to host this Meiofauna taxonomic workshop in Ghent, because we have a long tradition in Meiofauna research, and I wanted to put these people, at least to mention them today, because they played a prominent role in Meiofauna research. They all come from Ghent University. They were my teachers, my lecturers, so I'm very pleased to be here today and host this Meiofauna workshop, taking over the legacy that they actually started. It's Lucien de Koning, who was actually the initiator of a marine research facilities in Ghent, but who was a renowned nematode taxonomist. We have August Komans, we have Carlo Heck, who unfortunately passed away 2 years ago, much too early, but who was an important marine scientist in Belgium, in Europe, and I can say on a global scale, because he did a lot of efforts to promote marine research worldwide. Wilfrieda de Kramer is, I think, a well-known nematode taxonomist, and of course Magda Winks, also a well-known nematode taxonomist. You can see here some of her taxonomic drawings done in her early years. Another thing which I would like to mention here already, we will give you a demonstration of that later on during the workshop on Wednesday, is a data, when I say that Ghent is important in Meiofauna research, we have mainly a tradition in nematode taxonomy, also a little bit in copepod taxonomy, but much lesser. Mainly the nematodes was our first group, or our main group of interest since many years. Now we established a database which was originally known as NEMIS database, where we collected all the taxonomical information that is available on nematodes. You can access it online, and nowadays it's actually incorporated in worms. Worms is the World Register of Marine Species. So actually by accessing worms and by searching on nematode taxa up to species level, you can find the original descriptions of those nematode species. So it's definitely an important tool which can be of use in the Meiofauna workshop in general. It's not longer an exclusive Ghent thing. Since it's incorporated in worms, we also have so-called editors which take care of what is posted on this, how this database is fueled by new papers, by new publications. It's taken care of by an international group of experts like Daniel Leduc, who's also here as an expert. He's also part of that group of people. The final thing I would like to mention briefly, I only get once this opportunity to stand for an international audience and to promote my university, is the master courses we are organizing here in the context of marine science. We are actually the only university in the world who has a specialist and an exclusively master program on nematodes. Can you imagine? So it's the nematology course, which does not only include marine nematodes, of course. It's much orientated towards agricultural applications, but there is also a small component on marine science, so people that attend that course can get a special training in marine taxonomy. We also have two other more ecological orientated master programs, the marine biodiversity and conservation program, and the marine and lacustrine science and management master program, in which people from our group, together with other lecturers, are teaching on their in their field of expertise. Again, it's just to introduce the course, and it's too small. I'm not going to discuss the detail, but you will have access to these slides, so you can find the detailed information on this master course. This is the EMBC. It's actually an international program, originally started within the Erasmus Mundus context, and it's a collaboration with universities from Bremen in Germany, Algarve in Portugal, but also Oviedo, Spain, Pierre and Marie Curie in France, and the Galway Institute in Ireland are together taking care of the Erasmus Mundus program, or I should say the European program in marine and biodiversity and conservation, which we are coordinating here in Ghent, and then a final international inter-university program in marine and lacustrine science and management. Voilà, that was it. As an introduction to the local facilities, in the sense it gives you an introduction of what we are doing here in Ghent, here in Belgium. I'm very pleased that we have so many experts, because of course we are not only one doing Meiofauna research, and we are very pleased to have all these experts here together to discuss how to continue with Meiofauna research in the context of these of the baseline information that needs to be collected in relation to polymetallic nodule mining. I hope you will enjoy this stay. We stay for the first 2 days. We stay here. We have coffee breaks, lunches here in this room. On Wednesday, we go to our facilities at our campus. As I say, we will explain you how to get there. On Wednesday evening, we have a dinner together offered by a GSR in the center of Ghent. We will explain you how to get there as well. And then on Thursday we come back here, not in the same room. We will go to another room where we have the final wrap-up discussion on how to move forward with Meiofauna taxonomy in the context of polymetallic mining. I thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoy, and if there is anything, please contact me, contact Ellen, who's also here in the room, who actually took care of most of the organization, together with Stefan from ISA and Gordon Patterson. But I hope you will enjoy this day here and well. Thank you.